what we're going to cover today is how to create a hide and reveal activity in Smart Notebook. So one way to make your lessons just a little bit more interactive for you or your students is to, instead of having a question, writing down the answer, actually have the answer written on there already and reveal it on the page. So there's 3 different things I'm going to show you: move and reveal, order and reveal, and erase and reveal. So I'm just going to my page sorter tab here, clicking on my next slide. So here's my question: where is Tutankhamun's tomb? So first off, I'm going to show you an example of moving and revealing. So to do a move and reveal, you have a shape in front of your answer, and all you do is move your shape away from your answer to reveal what the answer is. So where is Tutankhamun's tomb? The Valley of the Kings. That's what the answer is. To do an order and reveal, to show your answer, kind of the same idea. You have a shape, but instead of moving it away from your answer, you move it towards where your answer is. So the Valley of the Kings. To do an erase and reveal, it is exactly what it sounds like. You take your eraser and erase where your answer is located, if you can find it. Valley of the Kings. I'm just going to go over here into my actions panel, click on new slide, and I have a new slide there. So what I'm going to do is create pretty much the slide that was on the earlier page. So I'm going to go into my galleries tab. I was doing this earlier and there's already touch written in there, but if I didn't have that in there, I can select that text, click my keyboard from my pen tray, and type in tut, little put this time since it was already there, but oh well. So I got tut up here, search it. I already had him up, but there he is. Tut. So one way to get him on there would be to double click him, and it puts onto your page, but I usually can't do it fast enough. I like the old slide and dropping on, then I can put actually where I want him anyways. So going back to my page sorter tab, that's just where I like to be. Good old tut sitting there. Now I'm going to write my question. So where was Tut buried? So I'm going to select what I have just written, go up to the right hand corner. This I can treat as an object. I can just move it around anywhere I want now. Go up to the right hand corner, click the drop down menu, and go to recognize text. So it'll actually recognize if I've written correctly what I wrote. Where was Tut buried? Nice. That was a bit neater than I usually am. So where was Tut buried? And we know from the previous slide, he was buried in the Valley of the Kings. Once again, my writing's kind of messy. I can make it a bit neater. Click on my drop-down menu, recognize Valley of the Kings. That is way too big. So I'm going to drag it over, go to my little resizer here, make it a little bit smaller. If you want, another way you can resize some text in an object is up here in our contextual toolbar. So when you have the text selected, you have a bunch of different tools you can use for the properties of it. I'm just going to make this 28. That's a little bit too small. 36. Okay. I also want to make that Kings capitalized, so you can just double click and you can get inside that text box. I'm going to hit my keyboard tab on my pen tray and erase that little K and make a big one. Okay, that's what I want. So Valley of the Kings. Alright, so to create a move and reveal activity, I got my question, got my answer, now I have to make the box that goes in front. So you can actually use any shape you want, but it's probably easiest just to do a rectangle. It fits over quite nicely. So I'm going to go up here into my tools panel, click on the shapes, and I'm going to take this rectangle right here and just draw a rectangle over my answer. I'm going to click my cursor again, just so I can now select my shape. Alright, you'll notice that it's not really doing anything at the moment. What we need to do is make sure that our shape is selected. One thing that you're going to notice is sometimes it can be hard to grab it if you let go of it. You have to click on that outside there. Clicking on the inside isn't really going to do anything for you. You have to get that line. So making sure it's selected, I'm going to go over here to my side tabs and click on the Properties tab. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to fill this in. I don't want just like a solid border, I want a solid fill. So clicking solid fill right there, you can pick any color you want. That blue is beautiful to me, I'm going to stay with that. So back to my page sorter tab, just because I like to be there. Now I can take my object, my box here, and remove it to reveal what my answer is. Okay. I don't want to make this slide again, that text was a pain, so I'm going to go into my page sorter tab, click the drop down menu for this page, and I'm actually going to clone it. So I have the same slide, but I don't have to do it all again. Okay, so here we're going to create an order and reveal activity. When you put an object on the page, whether it's text, shapes, pictures, Smart Notebook remembers the order that you put it in. So for example, Old Tut here was the thing we put on first, and you'll notice that he's layered on the very bottom. Okay, so the next thing we put on was, where was Tutberry? This was the last thing. You'll notice that it goes over top of everything. So everything that you put on here is actually layered. So we're going to use that to our advantage to create this order and reveal. So we can use this text, or this shape, this rectangle still, but this time, instead of going over top of our answer, we want it to go behind. So what we do is go up to our drop-down menu right here, click on it, and go to order. So we want to change the order that it was put onto the page. So I click that and I send it to back. So now when I put it over top of my answer, you can see what the answer is. Okay? But we don't want to actually be able to see it right now. So what you have to do, it's not really revealing it, it was already revealed. Click on your text here, go to your Properties tab, or up to your Properties panel at the top. Go to your Properties tab, and we're going to change the color of the text to the same color as the background. So now you can't see it, you don't know where the answer is, you have to actually move your box to reveal it. Okay, that's how you do an order and reveal. Back to my page sorter tab. I'm going to clone this page again and find my text box. Change the color of my text so I can see it and I don't lose it this time. And I don't need this at the moment, just delete him. Okay, so here's my answer. To create an erase and reveal, we're going to have to use the pen tool. So you'll notice that your eraser doesn't erase objects. It won't erase this text right here. It won't erase pictures. The only thing it erases is ink. So that's why you have to use the pen tool. So I'm just going to click on my pen tool up here on my tools panel. There's a few different pens you can use. The easiest one I'd say is just a regular pen tool. Going to colors, you're going to want to make it the same color as your background. So we want to reveal where this answer is. It has to be hidden first. We're going to color over top of it with a pen the same color as our background. It's also easier to do it if you have a thicker line. So here we had our colors, here we have line thickness and styles. Okay, I'm just going to get the biggest one to make it easier on me to erase it. And here we go, coloring over top of my answer. It looks like it's erasing it. It's just coloring over top with the same color as the background. So now to reveal my answer, I take my eraser and there it is, try to find it. There we go. So that's a really quick way to to actually erase it if you don't remember where you put your answer is to make a big circle in the vicinity of it, touch the middle, that didn't work that time, gotta go a bit faster, and it erases all the ink that's in that circle there. If you are worried about not being able to find your answer, if you have a really blank page like we have here, you can always go and insert a shape or a line to kind of point you in the right direction. So for instance, I can go to shapes, pick an arrow, back to my cursor, take this little green dot allows you to rotate. Here we go. So I'm going to point to where my answer is, and back to my pen tool. It should still be that thick white pen that I chose before. Cover over my answer again, and this time it's going to be a lot easier to see where I'm supposed to be erasing. You're going to want to have directions, especially if you're making this for your students, not necessarily for yourself. You might know where everything is, but your students might not. So it's good to have, arrows and maybe some directions, erase and reveal the answer. Or right here, like drop and reveal. Over here, move to reveal the answer, if you're doing it for others and yourself. So those are the 3 ways to do reveal activities.